That's up for you fans, whether you liked it or not. You know, we can't control that. But and you know, Joseph Michael Straczynski directed it. That was kind of fun working with the great maker himself as director, which I think he did a fairly good job. Other than that, it was a good time. You know, sorry I didn't get your money's worth, but hey, I got mine.
I like more philosophical questions, so I ask you again, this time all the actors. What is age to you? And please take this serious, especially to Mr. Spiner, who never speaks. I would like to know how you think. What is age to you? Because I think it's a big issue in Hollywood.
Age. Well, actually, it's not a big issue for the men. It's a big issue for the women in Hollywood.
I don't think so. I think the men are involved as well, but they're just hiding better.
No, I was talking yesterday about Walter's movie that I did Walter Koenig's movie, Richard Hatch, who is not young anymore. Let's just leave it like that, right?
He looks good.
He does look good, but I was considered too old to be his love interest.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. So they brought in the 25-year-old blonde to be the love interest. So no, it's not an issue for men. It's an issue for women. Now I'm off my soapbox.
I thought I should weigh in. I wonder why. I agree. It is a more difficult issue for women because we're still caught in the stereotype, and it's gotten worse in that we found all these techniques to defy age and defy death. So the continual refusal to admit that life decays is part of the Hollywood system. So it leaves women in the position of saying, well, how much money do I want to invest in Mark Trainer facelift tapes? You know, because there's a couple options. But really, the hardest part about it is that you want to be able to play the emotional age that you have earned as a woman and play the fullness of being a woman. And you are often asked to be marginalized in that situation and you don't get full expression. So that's what we're fighting for right now, I would say.
Thank you.
I agree with the women. No, they're actually right. I mean, there is some, Morgan, you were saying last night, you know, as you get older, their roles are less and less, but you deal with that issue in a much more viable and real way. You can look at the actual stats from SAG and you'll see that less and less roles are produced for women as they get older, and men too, but, you know, it's much more of an issue for men. I think it really is.
I have something else. The other thing. The other thing that's made it interesting lately is this new Little Demon high definition video.
Oh.
Now, high definition video, all the guys on the show are saying, oh, isn't it great? Look at, you can see every pore, every piece of sweat, and I'm thinking, every wrinkle. So there's a whole new industry of makeup artists quickly developing who are learning how to help with it, but it is a job. High definition video for a woman over 25 is like sending a horse to the glue factory. So that's what we're dealing with right now as well.
But Mary, I will say this. Mary, beautiful, right?
Wow,
now that my real age is on the internet, I will say this. I think Mary will probably agree with me, because Mary's a real actress too. And I will underline real actress. I don't think we're going to get work done, are we, Mary? Because who's going to play the old parts if everyone looks young? Me and Mary.
I think it's also really important to acknowledge that what you're talking about, your question had an implication contained within it, that we are talking about the world of filmed entertainment. Television and film reflect a youth-obsessed culture that is worldwide. In the theater, an actor is always going to be an actor. And if we're doing plays, then those characters that have been created by the masters over time will always require real actors to play them. So what we're talking about is television and film.
No, actually, only in America, because I've been in England quite a lot over the last few months, and the biggest TV stars in England are middle-aged women.
Yeah.
So this is an American thing. That's how I used to look when I was young. Very much just at the time. Yeah, it's a very American phenomenon, unfortunately, and you know, being as that's where we work.
Just being in Germany for 24 hours, I felt myself take a huge, deep sigh of relief. Because I'm running into beautiful, beautiful women who I understand are my peers, who look very, very lovely and stunning and natural. And I live in Los Angeles, so you can imagine, right? But I also agree with LeVar. I think it's different on the stage, but I do believe that that's being threatened as well. I've been reading some scripts lately for Broadway, and even though the playwright will write a certain age, the casting people are now asking for perhaps a younger woman in that role. So we're fighting it on all fronts, but we'll fight.
Mary, move to England.
I'm going to move to England. It's settled, and we're going to do films together.
And I highlight what LeVar said about it's market-driven too. It's what the audiences want, and so ultimately it's about what are people writing, huh? And who do they write it for? And Morgan wanted to say something.
Well, I've been 50 years in the business, and the paradox that one sees often is most of the most powerful stars are women. So many women, and they're all over 35. Think about it. Michelle Pfeiffer, people like her. They are stars, they still have star power. But it's probably, like everything else, quality is in the minority. It always has been, and it always will be. But it's better in Europe in that sense, I would think, for actors in that sense. I really would.
Good question.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Renee, you've been doing work on Boston Legal right here in front of you. Smile, guy. Yeah. We just talked about the age question, and in Boston Legal, the main stars are all, you know. Yeah, no. And the second thing is that we have to face the reality of the baby boom. I belong to a generation that never worked, and because of the baby boomers, I had like, 20 people over me.